Welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 583, recording live on November 27th, 2024. I'm your host, Tony.
I'm Adriel.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Kelly. I don't know who I am and where I am in the order.
I'm Dave.
Is it my turn?
Sure. You can go and then Brian.
Awesome. I'm Kelly.
And I am the Conquistador. Or Brian, to like anybody who's not in podcast land. Yeah. That guy.
I think you were on the very first Slamfire I was on. And then never again with me.
All right.
Yeah.
First podcast I was on with Brian would have been Modern Reload Radio, I think. Sitting in New Brunswick.
There's a Modern Reload Radio now? How many Reload Radio are there?
There's a post-modern.
No.
Well, it was Modern Rifleman, and then there was Reload Radio.
Yeah. Canadian Reload Radio.
Yeah, Canadian Reload.
Yeah, okay. And then Modern Rifleman, which I'm all screwed up because I'm backwards, but there's my sticker. Brian and I were on that. Brian was our lead host.
Yeah. But
I think I need to do research on finding, are those files still there or no? Are they gone?
Rifleman's still around somewhere.
Yeah. I think Service Conditions Radio is off. Gone. No more evidence of that.
We need to do an episode on the history of Slamfire Radio and its associated shows.
Oh, that'll be riveting.
Be interesting to everyone who's here.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe episode 600. We'll see about.
We'll draw dozens of views.
Or track like Canadian firearms podcasts and their history. You could have like an 8-part mini series. Maybe Netflix would pick it up. It'd be amazing.
I was also going to say, Tony, we say quiet on set before we roll cameras. You quiet, and you give people a 3 count, and then we roll.
I'm not a professional. You know this. Okay, let's get into what we did in guns. Let's go with Brian first because it's been 83 episodes since he's been on, and a lot of things probably has happened.
It's an odd number.
It is an oddly, it's an oddly specific number. I'm impressed. He knows that. I'm also scared. But
you should have been on episode 500 though. Were you on episode 500?
Exactly. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. I'm sure I was. But I think I've been on since then.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
anyway,
Tony's internship failed.
I think you've been on.
Probably.
Yeah, I think I was on earlier this year.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, after our Appleseed event.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Oh, Tony.
Hey, you know what? You know, this is what editing is for. You can edit that out. It's fine.
We can do a retake.
What have I been up to in guns? Let's see. Last weekend I was at a local range working with a new barrel for my 1022, trying to find an ammo that works in it. I'm struggling with that with this new IBI barrel, but I will overcome that. I haven't had a lot of time for shooting. Just work and life has been very busy. And then a couple of weeks ago, I was at the same range shooting Mapleseed. So, and I think we're probably going to talk about that a little bit more later. I'm guessing. I don't know. Yeah. So that's kind of it. It's wintering here now. I'm trying to decorate my bachelor pad for Christmas, and
it looks very Christmassy, by the way.
No, it does not. This is
the background is just decked right out for those that are listening. Those bare.
I gotta adjust my hat. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna take.
You need some tapestry. Kelly. You need some tapestries there, Mr. Conquistador.
Yeah, I actually do have some cool tapestries. You guys can't quite see them, but I have a few comic books that I
see comic books
purchased and put on in frames. So I don't have to. No one else gets to tell me how to decorate. So I'm just woo.
You do you. You always do.
You have curtains. Yeah. You at least have curtains.
I have too many.
Or are they blankets or flags?
No.
Hey, don't.
blinds or something. I don't know. They came with the house. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I haven't. This is like the
Haven't looked at
extra.
windows yet.
This is the extra bedroom. This is where I put my computer and a monitor. It's fine. It's kind of my office. That's it. I don't
Printer
do much
tray,
here
which
except.
is conveniently open for you to rip it off when you walk by accidentally.
Well, if I don't leave it open, Dave, then paper falls every time I print from wherever I am in the house. So
Oh, you print
stop,
things.
Mr. IT man, and it holds
I-
my rifle up.
I
So
have to
just
say
me-
I do that too. I have my tray open because, or else I have to collect all the paper on the ground.
My printer has a tray built into it, so it just stays inside the printer and I can collect it. So yeah.
Well, I don't have that kind of fancy printer. Anyway, this is really off the topic that nobody
hoax.
cares. Nobody cares.
That is
What
Carry
if you
on.
need to high volume print your targets, for example?
I do that at work.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Plotters are the
Was color print too?
Well, I could do color, but I can do full size targets. So if I really want to, so one of the benefits of working in an engineering office. Now,
plotters.
Strangely, the paper that we use for printing engineering drawings is not designed to hold up to weather in any way, shape, or form.
Mm.
So, like a heavy mist causes it to just kind of dissolve. So it's not great. So, and Kelly knows all about printing targets and paper stock and all that stuff.
more than I really wanted to know about.
Right?
However,
Are you gonna look into what it would cost to make the colors not black, the targets not black? Like even a gray would be great, Kelly.
you're the only one that has requested that.
I know, but it's
Shocking.
Of course,
So high maintenance. You're so high maintenance, Brian.
Totally, I am so totally high
Brian
maintenance.
shows up the range just like, oh, these targets are black. I'll be in my
You
trailer.
already knew what they were. But we have friends who we have talked to about targets, and maybe we can look at a Brian Bolivar only target.
Well, I was just thinking, like, if they were gray, it's
Mhm.
not going to cost any more than black. I wouldn't think, but
No.
you can still have some contrast with iron sights, and it'd be actually better contrast for regular, regular scopes too.
That's true.
Yeah, just throw it in econo mode for ink.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Sure,
rapid
something
print.
like that. Yeah,
Great.
I mean, I don't want you to do it red like the Americans do it, because why be like the Americans? That's wrong. So
Print them.
That's what we keep being told.
Yeah, the King says you don't have to do that. So
yes, exactly. All right, so that's it for me. Somebody else should talk now.
You pick.
I can't. Dustin then.
Oh my. Okay. Well.
You walked right into that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, right into the I actually didn't do like a whole bunch. But I did do a range day with a buddy of mine. Solved a malfunction for him. He got a PC9, the same one that I have, and he did the Glock mag converter to it because it comes right with the thing. But you got to remember to tighten that screw, that takedown screw. He didn't tighten it all the way.
Yeah.
And it was having just malfunction after malfunction. And he couldn't figure out what was wrong. I was like, I know what's wrong. 3 seconds later, because I always come with all of the
What
tools.
kind of malfunction do you get from that?
Everything. It fails
Everything.
to everything. That gun just stops working if that screw's not properly
That
tightened.
is funny. I haven't really heard anyone mention that. I guess not a lot of people really check.
Yeah, no, and he's not a super high volume shooter. Like I let him take my PC9 out over the summer. He went camping with some friends, and they wanted to go shoot guns, and he didn't have any non-restricted guns. I was like, here, take this one, and he liked it, so he bought one. But he didn't. Anyway, fix that for him.
Did you tell him to get the nesting stock one?
The nesting stock one, like
The
the
Magpul
Yeah,
nest
that's the same one
together
I
thing.
Or-
I don't even know which one you have. So.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Oh.
Back there. I don't know. It's got the Magpul stock on it. Sorted and cleaned some brass. I was channeling my inner Dave the whole time. And then, I did a little bit of dry fire training because my handgun game is rusty and needs to not be rusty. So I'm trying to kind of build up some trigger strength again. Because I kind of busted my knuckle a few months ago and kind of, still getting back from that. But that's more or less all I did, apart from put some guns out that be relevant next time we talk. And I think that's it for me. What did you do, Tony?
Okay, we're going down the list. That's fine. When hunting, because I said I would, didn't really see much. The piece of land is pretty good, pretty nice, I want to say. There's a mix of really dense, like woods. It's like basically not human accessible. It's a little hilly too. And some open area. So I find an edge, put down heater seat, very important. They're on sale Black Friday at Cabela's. I think $12 or something. So yeah, get one.
Oh, that's a pretty good deal. 12
Yeah.
bucks.
I got two in case I need to bring a friend to the woods. So that was
One
the
for
one I
each
didn't.
cheek.
That would be hard to sit on. Anyway, sat around freezing ish. Wasn't too bad. -15 ish. Southern Alberta really took a dive in both temperature and ton of snow. I don't know if I'm moving too. It's a thing. I'm thinking I need to see success to visualize success, and I don't know what success looks like yet. I can't blame that on Adriel though. He is great, but
It looks different for everyone who heads out.
Yep.
True, but I'm thinking, am I putting my hands back in my pocket too often that I'm making excessive noise? Like, what kind of noise level is acceptable?
You know what the funny thing is, Tony? I've got a relative who literally walks around the woods breaking limbs off of trees and like smoking, and he shoots a deer almost every year. And generally the deer just walks out in front of him and he blows it away. And I'm like sneaking around and thinking about my scent and if I'm downwind and exactly same stuff. Am I shifting too much or am I shifting my toes? Can the deers hear that? And he's like, "Mer, bang."
Tony,
That's fair.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Since this is a gun show, what gun did you bring with you on your hunting excursion?
I showed it last week, I thought. So I'm not showing it this
This
week.
is this
but
week.
I know, but it was the
You can't
Winchester
show us the gun
SXP
weeks
12
on.
gauge 18-inch
Right.
Defender. I'm
Ah.
gonna shoot a slug out of. So it was very limited in range, but I'm not trying to. My eyes isn't good enough to support me to see something at 500, and I'm probably not gonna shoot something at 500. So wasn't too bad of a concern. It's a lot of wood, so I was taking out the laser and was like, from this corner to that corner is 75 yards. I think I got this for the most part. Again, slug gun. It's not a rifled barrel, so the accuracy is not amazing. But if
Have
I
you
can
fired it
find
at
something,
75 yards?
I've done it at 100 before.
Okay. How are the groups at 100 with it? Like a
Letter
flat area?
sized
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
paper. It's not good. It's not good. But yeah, didn't see much. But you gotta put in the time, right? It's hunting. It's not shopping.
If
Correct.
you are not out in the woods, you're literally not seeing any deer, guaranteed. So
That's
And a
the
good
thing,
day,
though.
not-
I saw a lot of deers just at the wrong places. I driving up, doe crossing the road. I was like, okay, at least I'm savvy enough. It's like, oh, that's a white-tailed deer. Okay, keep driving into the land. Didn't see anything. Went out to lunch. Right on the side of the field, there's 3 deers, 2 bucks, 1 doe. Or is it? Anyway, at least there's a buck there. Pretty decent. I think 6 point total. So 3x3. It's like, you're just in a farmer's homestead. That's kind of annoying. Okay, came back, sit around some more. Didn't see anything. It's funny because it's a piece of public and it's kind of on this side road. When you turn into it, it's I think mostly homestead, like on that road, and it doesn't really lead. It leads west, which is towards the mountains. So I don't think it goes anywhere. When you turn there, it says no exit and local traffic only, which is fine. I'm visiting a local place, and you'll see like littered here and there, 2-3 trucks around. But I never saw anyone left with like a deer hanging out there on a box. So I don't know if anyone were successful. I was, I think, the second to last to leave, and there's another guy who, when I went there, it wasn't too early. I didn't plan to go as a morning hunt just because, like, I'm not familiar with the area. It snowed a lot. I didn't want to get stuck in a place I'm not familiar with. I saw that guy when I came in, and he was still there when I left. So maybe something happened. I don't know. And on driving out, of course, you see 2 does in a ditch because that's how it works. So deer everywhere, but not where I can find them or shoot them or near my presence, I guess is the word.
Had you done any scouting, Tony, before, or was this just a drive in
No,
and
this is
walk
a
around and see what
driving
happens?
thing because I was supposed to hunt more with Adriel on that, and going
Adriel's
back
fault
to
then. Got it.
no,
Yep.
no, 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 no.
Yep.
I was there.
It's all Adriel's fault.
I was at deer camp way too short due to a family function,
Ah,
and since Dustin was very kind to try to buy me a Savage 110, but what I figured out is, speaking of obscure cartridges, the only combo they had, this is at Reliable, and I think they sold it in store probably. The only
280
combo
Ackley?
the only combo they had for very specific
Nice.
Viper, a Vortex. I didn't get this. No, the Vortex Viper HS with a 110 is this. This is the only model they had, which is a 280 Ackley.
Why would you
Speaking
buy
of
280 Ackley?
Nothing wrong
That's
with that.
weird.
nothing wrong with that. It was 50% off, but the original price was like 18.
That's good.
That's still a
Like,
good
it's-
price
it's-
under
yeah.
under Grand Fort 280 Ackley, but I wasn't too into that.
In my defense, they did not list the caliber.
No, of course
Right.
not.
So
And I think it's the only model. That's why they advertise it that way. No knock on Reliable Gun for doing that. It's just, as Adriel would know, smart marketing. But I did get myself a 110 in the correct caliber. I bought it from Cabela's for a price match with Tenda in 308.
oh, good.
Good.
So,
Nice.
yeah, I said if I want a short action, I'll get a 308. So that's coming. They haven't responded to my price match yet, which is a little slow for Cabela's, but yeah, they did send me the confirmation from RCMP, so I'm still not a criminal, which is great. And if they're fast on their hands, maybe I'll bring that out on Saturday. And we'll see. Maybe there's a picture of me with a deer. Well, we'll see. Maybe, maybe not. But it does come with factory iron sights, so I can't hunt with it like right away.
I
Um,
would sight it in first.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
nah,
Yes,
you
that's
you only
important in our
live
modern
once.
Society.
You only live once.
Only accurate guns are interesting, Tony.
Yeah, but it's a Savage, so I think it'll be all right. Come on.
All right, then. Pretty sure it's fine. Hey,
This gun is not legal for hunting, but I want to demonstrate a thing about well, no, in Alberta, anyways. Also, it's a 223 with a
Right.
golden eagle
Not
on
yet.
top. So,
Maybe soon in the future.
do you sure you want to hunt with a low end of 15 and a high end of 60 power?
I mean, put a
Oh,
different
talking
scope on
rifle
it, but
caliber.
But a thing I test nowadays for a bolt gun is kind of, I would describe it off axis bolt closing, as in I have a tendency of pushing the bolt like kind of sometimes upwards
yeah,
when
Yeah.
back in battery, or
Yeah.
depends on the shape. This one's curved to this side, so sometimes I'll force it like this, and your local Cabela's
Bind
would
it
be the perfect place to do this. For example, the Mossberg action, you can bind it up upwards quite easily.
yeah.
So when you're doing this, it's not great. So you want to check that if you're interested in fast bolt gun shooting, and if you have a Cabela's nearby or a larger gun store that have all the different action types, you will be able to test it out. I feel Mossberg is kind of bad for that. The 110 I tried is pretty decent. The T3X I also tried because it's world renowned for being smooth. I didn't feel like it's that different, but I also tried a Patriot. This is MVP, but similar idea. That one is also quite bindy. So just a tip for anyone who is seeking out a bolt gun that may or may not affect your purchasing decision. I think that's about it. Oh, that's no. freaking lit my credit card on fire. There's a lot of good sales out there. We'll talk about probably later, but trigger tag, bought a gun, bought a bunch of stuff from Kibos about hunting. What else did I buy? Yeah, bought a bunch of stuff. So we'll probably be sure. Yeah, bought a Lee APP, not a progressive, but like style reloading press thingy. That'll probably showcase when they all arrive next week.
Just out of curiosity, I went and looked to see what 280 Ackley actually costs in Canada. The cheapest stuff I can find is $4 a shot, and the most expensive is about 100.
Yeah, but Dave would
I have a
Tony would
reloading
reload.
press, so
Tony would
I
reload.
think
Gotta
I'm
reload
okay.
that stuff. Yeah.
For
Damn.
me, for my understanding, anything at or above 308 class, you make tons of money on. So I have the equipment. I can get the dice if I really wanted a 280 Ackley, but to me, that's more of a competition cartridge, maybe a
No,
little
that's a
old school
dual
for-
hunting cartridge. That's why I got the
Sure.
barrel done in it. Was for deer, for moose, sheep,
It's
everything.
a good cartridge. Yeah,
It's a good cartridge.
but it's sold, right?
I'm a crusty old guy. Anything Ackley should not be factory available. It should be a custom chamber, and you should
Wildcat.
only be able to reload it. I'm sorry, that's just
the
not,
thing.
that's not
though,
right.
for any of the listeners who is interested, there's a very interesting comparison between 280 Ackley and its parent case, the 280 Remington, and how the Ackley over time like way outperformed the Remington. I think it's pretty difficult to buy a 280 Remington these days.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Brian. It didn't get standardized by SAMI until 2008, and it was introduced in 1957. So build a time machine, go back 30 years, and you can shoot it as a Wildcat.
I'm just gonna shake my fist at the clouds.
You kids with your SAMI, your chamber pressure standards.
Well, you can still get some weird stuff like I discussed last week. Get a 458 SOCOM. It's still a Wildcat. Don't blow yourself up. It's kind of dangerous. All right, let's go to Adriel next, who was mysteriously absent last week.
I took the day off.
Dun dun dun.
My schedule's pretty tight. If you look at my weekends or my weeknights, it can look a little bit nuts. When you're penciling in friends who are like, "Oh, you want to hang out?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I could do a week from now." Yeah, it's kind of silly.
Sounds like the
1 p.m. until
Canadian healthcare
1:15
system.
p.m.
Yeah, it's kind of silly.
Lucky.
2 weekends ago, I went hunting with my kid. I hunted with my brother's kids as well, so I didn't really see too much. Didn't really see too much. So I'll have to shoot another deer some other time, maybe this weekend. The weekend after that, I did a PAL-RPAL doubleheader. One day was almost sold out, and the other day was sold out. So
Nice.
busy. Yeah. One of the things that had come in a while back, a buddy of mine had bought them, is these Ambi. Now they're Ambi safeties that Trigger Tech has. They're also 45.
Ooh, nice.
He was buying them, like, oh, throw in one for me too. So did that.
45
I
safety,
opted
nice.
for not Ambi because I'm not wrong-handed, so I don't need the other side.
I don't like that. A lot of manufacturer, I found most of the manufacturer does biased safeties on ARs, like the left side and right side. If you want them,
Oh, these you can flip. You can
I know,
completely flip
but
these.
they're
Yeah.
not the equal size. Both sides, they're biased.
Yeah,
No.
if you're I was actually wanting to see the other lever that they send with that, because honestly,
They
you
have
want
a short one and a
different-
long one.
Yeah, you want the short
They'll give
one
you
on
4.
your trigger. Yep,
Yeah.
because otherwise, even if you run it at like a 45-degree angle, that's gonna dig into your trigger finger,
Yeah.
right at the knuckle. And so, like I do the ambi where I roll out with my trigger finger and put it on safe for dumping it, but
Yep.
I don't want a long lever on the passenger side,
Oh, wow.
the side with my
one?
trigger
I
finger.
thought they
'Cause
only gave you
I've
3. Oh, I should have got one then.
No, they
Oh.
give you a long, they give you a short, and they give you a plate.
Right. I want long.
Why? No, you don't.
no, you don't.
No,
I've
because
shot
long,
it that way.
long on this side will get in the way of your trigger finger.
Nope, my hand is too small.
Oh,
It doesn't get in the way.
okay.
And if it's too short, my hands is too small. I can't put it on safe. I have
But
to have long.
You're not going to use the other side most of the time. You're just going to use this side, right?
No, I put it on safe by pulling my hand back. So my index finger actually puts on safe.
So
Yeah. So you're
buy 2 kits.
like,
And
I don't
then,
know how that you're having issues
That's-
with a short one.
That's so dumb. The only ones they offer,
or learn how to do it properly. so
I
you
know,
don't have to-
the only one that does it balanced is actually surprisingly on the Kodiak K9. It came balanced both sides at 90 degrees, or if you get the Strike Industry ones, they're balanced 2 sides.
Yeah. The WKs
I know
do it as
I'm
well,
kind
but
of the odd case here, but I like them not biased.
I like them biased so much that the other side doesn't even have it on there. I don't want it in the way. Anyways, that go on there. I got I put the Timney on there, so I'm gonna see how that treats me.
Calvin Elite
Yeah, Timney Calvin Elite.
should have used
Get
that
that going.
long time
Yeah.
ago. Should have started your season like that.
Well, like I said before, I got to play with it a little bit to make sure I don't get hammer follow with it because it's so light. So I think that's just gonna be more purposeful with firing, but we'll see. So I put that on the Raven. I got another spare one. I've got a Trigger Tech coming in. I bought a Stevens 334 and 6.5 Creedmoor from Cabela's.
Ooh,
And they're like,
nice.
oh, it's scratched. I'm like, give me some more off. And they're like, we'll give you another 5% off. I'm like, all right. So I got 5%
Really?
off plus,
How
plus,
scratched is it?
like there's decent scratches on the barrel for like, dings from being with other guns and that kind of thing.
Doesn't come with a box.
I don't know. I don't care. I hope it doesn't. I hope they send it in a plastic bag. I don't need the boxes. I hope they don't include the little piece of crap cable lock either.
同志，
need
你的
one of
5.6
those.
半是步枪。As in comrade,
Manual.
you're Type 56.
Chuck it. Yeah, I don't need nothing. I'm good.
I'm the same.
Calgary Shooting Center had a deal on red dots. I think they were water damaged, so the boxes were toast. I got 2 of those.
2 of those, yeah.
Price was right. Sorry, they were the Bushnell TRS 26s, I think, or 25s.
Really?
I can't
That's like
remember.
25. Oh, well, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, $60. Can't go wrong. I'll buy them. I'll put them both on like both 45.
45
on both
degrees,
sides.
yes.
Yeah. So
Tilting
I'll go red dot in the middle, and then I'll go 45 on one side and 45 on the other on my gamer rifle, right? No,
triple
I'll use them
dot.
on some other stuff. Trigger Tech, yeah, their Black Friday sales up. Got 2 of their triggers. I say on the way, but like with Canada Post striking, I have no idea if any of this stuff's on the way or not. So
I
2
thought they
triggers.
used Canada Post for last year, so maybe they will be
Oh.
slow. But
I
a
don't
lot of
It doesn't
smaller
matter.
stores are kind of moving towards UPS.
Yeah,
Purelator,
Magdump's doing that
FedEx.
kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't know what about bigger corporations. Maybe they care about having a count with whoever they ship was. Might be a
Not
little
sure.
slower for
Yeah.
them to move.
But my GSG 1911. So I was talking to Tony the other day, and he's like, "Hey, you want anything from Brownells?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want that Glock 48 better trigger." And then maybe the GSG, because my GSG, like the recoil spring up, it's toast. It needs to be replaced. Where do I find a new one? They don't exist. I've been looking for what's their names? I've been looking for the better guide rod and spring combo for
Tandem cross?
forever. Yeah, Red Deer Shooting Center had them back, and I was like, I drove through there earlier this year. They didn't have anything in stock. I'm like, when are you gonna get some more? And they're like, we don't know. If you want some, you can special order them. I'm like, So I just waited, and they got some. So I ordered some of that. Saturday, I'm going for a day hunt with a listener of the show. So we'll be out there. That's Jason. We'll be heading out with. Sunday, I hope to be out testing some guns at the range, hopefully. So we'll see. We'll see how badly wrecked I am from the weekend, or if I've got a big deer that I got to process or something like that. We'll see, because that will prevent me from heading out on a Sunday. And I mean, it's only -13 on Sunday. That should be fine. Like for the Saturday, we're going to do like a whole bunch of walk-ins, so it should be good. Who's next? Kelly? Oh, yeah.
Hello, it's me. So, what did I do? So we're going to be talking about Mapleseed that Brian took part in, but it was a double header. So it was both Jordan Bay, which is in Midland, and then Huronia. So I was up there for that. And yeah, we're going to be talking about that during the main topic. So we'll just skip over that a little bit. Other than it was our last events for the year for Project Mapleseed. It was lots of fun. I was not expecting the mosquitoes that I killed, nor was I expecting the really warm weather. So it was nice. And this past weekend, I was at the range. We did well, it wasn't an orientation. Totally lied to you. I kind of did an orientation as well. So Sunday we did a club level handgun ATT course. So Kelly and I delivered that to some new members. Then afterwards we did orientation as well. I also cited in my 1022 because there is a rifle shoot that's going to be happening. It's a turkey shoot. They do it every year.
Huh.
And I was told that I have to come and shoot it this year. I missed it last year and the year before I won it. So I set it in my 1022. It's indoor, so I wanted to make sure it was good. But my my buffer pin was also not doing well. I put a new silicone one in there, and it was just the reset on the trigger was not working. So I ordered a new kid buffer pin. It's the one with the steel pin, and then it has a polymer wrap on it. I ordered that from Delas. I ordered 2 of them. So they sent that to me. So I switched it out, just did it right at the range. And then I went and took my rifle into the range and sighted it in. Works like a dream. So hopefully I'll be able to win something. We don't win turkeys. I was expecting a turkey, but I wanted
Why is it a turkey?
well, they call it a turkey shoot, but it's actually not a turkey. You don't win
Yeah.
turkey. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
What do you
that's
win
false
then? Do you
advertising.
win any kind of a game bird? Do you win a deer?
Dear. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah. No, we win gift certificates for gas cards, which is good. It's great. That's gonna
Still
be
not
happening in
turkey.
a couple of weeks. Yeah, that's
Until you found out you drive an electric car.
Yeah, no, I drive. You know, dinosaur juice. So, that's me. That's what I did this week. Who else? Who hasn't gone? Dave
Kelly wasn't.
Kyle,
Did you go?
Dave.
or Kyle?
Okay, well, I'm on camera, so I shipped some stuff, ordered some stuff, got waitlisted on some stuff, and I'm traveling this weekend, so I'm probably gonna buy some stuff.
Where are you
shipped
going?
out.
Texas again?
No, I'm actually going to Arizona. I do got to pass through Texas,
Mm.
and actually through El Paso, but no, it'll be going to Phoenix.
Wait, what? I need to study the map then.
Just the way the highways go, that's the best way for me to go.
Hmm.
Yeah. Shipped out mine and Craig's Benelli trigger groups down to Briley to get the match trigger done up
That's
on
a
those.
free job for you, right? You want that.
Yeah, and they're awesome. So I pulled out my gift certificate, and it had expired end of September, which I don't know why they put such a short expiry on it. But so I called them and asked if they would still honor it, and they said, yeah, it wouldn't be a problem. So
Awesome.
yeah. So yeah, ship those out. They should have them on Monday. I ordered a holster from We the People today for the 365 X Macro, as they were 25% off. I got so I don't know if people will follow Roth Performance, but he just put out a modified shotgun, so like for IPSC modified division, and with that he kind of developed a new buttstock for it, and completely adjustable, skeletonized. Apparently it's got some springs or something in there to help absorb recoil. And so I emailed them to get put on the wait list for that. So I will be cost depending, end up being one of the first ones with that, and check that out. They said first quarter 2025 is when they're expecting to have those. So looking forward to checking that out. I hemmed and hawed on it for a couple weeks before just emailing him, said, yeah, put me on the wait list. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to Phoenix this weekend, so I already have a few things. I'll probably look for more holsters than that. I do want to go to Unlimited Ammo, their ammo manufacturer down in the area, and check out some of their like long range 223 ammo, and probably pick up some 9mm just to try it out. And it's interesting. They do like a subscription thing, so you could like do a subscription and just have
Subscribe to
ammo come once a month kind of thing.
That's clever.
That's fun.
Interesting.
So,
I wonder
and
how the price go, just because ammo still fluctuates quite a bit, I want to say.
yeah, it doesn't seem to be fluctuating a whole ton down here right now. But I mean, they make their own ammo too, so maybe they just have a stockpile of stuff, or they gotta have some kind of situation figured out there. But yeah, and then I really want to get my hands on a Athlon 1-10 first focal plane and really check that out. So I will probably be trying to continue finding a shop that actually has one in stock that I can put my hands on.
At this
So-
point, you should just have Aslan sponsor you.
Well, funny story, I have not reached out to them yet, but
Exactly.
I'm not going to tout a company on a product that I haven't tested or I don't believe in.
Well,
Right.
tell them to
If
send you a
if all it
reviewer
was just
sample.
getting a scope, like this is not a knock on the company whatsoever, but if I just wanted a sponsorship just to get a scope, I'd reach out to Vortex. They sponsor everybody, and they're pretty easy to get a sponsorship. Now the level of sponsorship is a whole other thing, but like they're one of the easier ones to get sponsored through. Right? I'm not, as I've said before, like I love the company and what they do and their support, but I'm not a fan of their optics. So I do want to get my hands on an Athlon. I think that's like $1,000 US, so it's budget wise 1-10 first focal plane. So I definitely want to get my hands on that before reaching out to them. Also, same thing with Unlimited Ammo, a smaller ammo company. I want ammo so I can practice. So we'll see. I might reach out to them, see how their ammo is and that. But because it is that time of year to be.
When a young
Very
man's
good.
fancy turns to ammunition.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me. How about you, Dave?
I sorted brass again.
Hmm.
I'm almost done my 2 great big buckets. I've got 2 sandbags full of 223, and I probably 800 rounds of 308. So one of my friends reloads, so he got a great big box full of. He's good for a bit. I think he's good
Nice.
for a bit. So yeah, I gotta find some more friends that reload and give them some brass, because I got more brass than I will ever use, because I haven't hand loaded since 2009. So I just have a lot of brass.
Really?
Yep, I got all
Why
the
so much
equipment.
brass?
Because quite often at my shoots, I just say, if you don't want the brass, throw in the brass buckets. I'll deal with it. Same with duds. So after 12 years of doing that, it turns out I have a fair amount of brass. I came home one day and I
crate
had
some to me or something.
two
Jeez.
two brass buckets like that. So for the listeners, it's about, I don't know, a foot tall and maybe 9 inches across. And I had 2 of those full of 223. And I came home another day and I had 2 of those full of 308s and 30-06s. So some of it I don't ever plan on reloading, and some of it I'm going to start reloading again soon. I think I really want to. And the stuff that I don't shoot, I have lots of friends that do. So
Did
they're
you
always happy to
retain all
brass.
your reloading setup, or you got rid of that too?
Oh, dude.
There's the dies. I see those. What press are
Yeah.
you running?
Thousands and thousands. It's just an RBS single stage rock chucker, and then I have thousands and
That's a good
thousands and
choice.
thousands of bullets and probably 10 pounds worth of powder sitting here, and I don't know, thousands of primers.
They're
But
gonna expire. Use them soon.
expire. Nothing expires. I found World War I ammo. It still went boom. So yeah, I got so much reloading stuff here, and I've had a few friends die over the years, and I ended up inheriting 1,000 223 bullets and stuff like that. So it either goes to friends who reload when they need it, or eventually I will use it. So yeah, sorting brass is pretty much what I did. I also picked up, I don't know what I did with it, but I picked up a Mantis X Elite because they were on sale at SRS Tactical.
Ooh.
So
Oh yeah.
haven't even taken it out of the box. Haven't looked at it. I've had it for like 2 months. So eventually I'll pull it out of the box and try it and see
Please
how
do.
it is.
Please do let me know how that is. I literally have that open on the monitor over here, and it has been
Oh, do you?
haunting. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, it's right there. So please let me know how you like that. I've
Okay.
been
I'll give it a go, and I'll let you know, because it intrigues me, and I don't do enough dry fire, and I don't shoot very much at all. So I need to do a lot more dry firing, and then maybe when the rare occasions I actually go out and shoot, I won't suck.
Yeah.
Not that I'm terrible, but I just could vastly improve. So
Likewise.
yeah.
And I just started dry firing again, so this is tempting me. So.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will get it hooked up in the next couple weeks, and I will let you know how it is.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I think, was I the last one there?
Yeah.
I think so.
I realized I can't go shoot again after my birthday is coming up soon, and courtesy of Canada Post, even though if y'all remember at the beginning of the month me fighting with license hasn't come in the mail. They drag their feet for 6 months, fight me, and then
And then, damn you, Canada Post.
And then they're gonna go back to work and they're gonna lose it.
But yeah, that'll be the next thing. That'll be great.
Well, look at it this way, Dustin. They have lost something like, what the hell is it I read? $6 billion in the last 15 years.
I know,
it's ridiculous. Right? Like, they're losing $1 billion a year. So hopefully they eventually just collapse under the weight of their own stupidity, and we don't have to worry about it. And then Amazon takes it over or something. I don't know. Like, they got to collapse sooner or later. It's just going to happen, especially if they get this 23% raise or whatever the heck it is they're asking for.
I would just move the CBC budget over there.
I was pondering this today. If Canada Post is losing $300 odd million a quarter, it's not a strong bargaining position to ask for more money.
No.
And yet,
Yeah, probably not.
they did.
Yeah.
We're not losing enough money, guys.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
That's the genius of unions.
I don't.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There's been a few in my area where they unionized, and then they decided that we're making enough, so then they went on strike for extended periods of time and bankrupted the company. And then the union said, "Thanks for your dues, great job, everyone, standing up for Canadian jobs," and then left. So yeah,
my unions cost me more money than I think it's ever made me. So
yeah,
True story.
yeah. I only ever worked for one once, and it was the Teamsters. So they were like the union.
Oh.
And they were the worst, laziest, surliest. The thing from the Simpsons. Dustin knows this one for sure.
I love the two Teamsters. I've got lots of Teamster
yeah.
buddies. They get paid a lot to do not a lot sometimes.
And that's what I found. And nothing is their job. So at the company I work for, so complete aside, not farms related, but the place I worked at for 1.5 years was Teamsters. And I occasionally came up with things that we should probably doing rather than the really highly paid guys. And I was very quickly told that that was not your job. And because we're just sitting around anyway. So I'm like, we should do these things. No, we should hire somebody else to do that. I'm like, but we're literally sitting here doing nothing and it's really boring. And they're like, yeah, we need to hire more people. Oh, okay. And that was pretty much my experience with the Teamsters, and they can go to hell. So
that's kind of crazy. I haven't been employed with a union, so I don't really know. I've heard some stuff. In my company, we have a union side and a non-union side. So I've heard some stuff by proxy, but I haven't really.
And there aren't
been
wars between the two sides?
No, it's just the hourly versus salary thing.
So it's fun watching them defend to the death the lowest common denominator that long since would have been fired anywhere else because they suck.
Yeah.
So.
That's why I don't like unions.
All right,
Let's see-
it's a
Wait a
stunt
second.
show. We've
Upcoming
been
events.
at it for 15 minutes and we haven't even gotten to past what we did in guns.
All right.
Oh, shit, I said that
upcoming
aloud.
Events.
Outdoor voice. Kevin.
I guess only Kyle would know if there's any upcoming events because their weather is more tolerable.
Not in Canada, there aren't.
Yeah, but what about, I don't know, maybe surrounding you, Roswell?
Yeah, their monthly matches are still going. So your regularly scheduled monthly match is still going. Major matches are pretty much wrapped up till spring.
And also Kyle's off for tomorrow because the U.S.
Yes.
Turkey Day, yes.
Turkey Day.
Oh,
And
it's
then
Thanksgiving. It's real Thanksgiving. Cool.
Yeah.
Which means
It's
shopping
the start.
day
It's
for
the start
us.
of
That's
Christmas season. Yeah.
Why Black Friday is Friday.
Yeah, freaking Christmas songs are already on the music.
They've been playing them for a month.
Okay.
All right, news. Not too much gun involved. Again, Canada still on strike. I think it's been 2 weeks now.
Anyone
And,
notice yet?
Nobody knows how long it's been because nobody's really all that put out by it, except
I
Dustin,
have
because,
received, I have received vastly fewer flyers than I normally do. So
There you go.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like that part.
And another piece of news, I guess, could be gun related. Trump threatens 25% tariff on Canadian goods if we don't sort out the border, but I don't know what the
Yeah.
detail is. So
Let's sort out our
Awesome.
government
served
first.
for you people.
Yeah.
yeah, so that'll be a developing story, so to speak. We'll see about that.
I didn't put it in there, but something if you own a Raven 9 and you're dealing with the broken firing pins, Taylor seems to have narrowed down where a common denominator on all but one that he's heard of has been with Trigger Tech triggers.
That's an
Interesting.
odd one
Really?
because
Yeah, it's very odd.
I believe Taylor's still running what he's been running.
no,
the
he's running a
Hyperfire for,
hyperfire. Yeah.
but he still breaks them. That's the thing.
Well, in his post, his broken firing pin came from when he had a Trigger Tech in there.
I thought he didn't
Is
have
the
a trigger tech
hammer
for
hitting
that.
I have-
hard, or what's the story?
I have no idea.
Wrong
It's-
angle.
It's a very interesting.
Yeah, like
Slash
Timney didn't want me
different.
running an AR trigger in my PCC because of just how violent it is and that the hammer, when it resets, contacts the sear. And they were saying they were just beating triggers apart. Like I'm testing one AR trigger out right now to see if it works. So I don't know how the geometry on the Trigger Tech is, if that's the same thing, but that would be on the trigger, not the firing pin. So
But another point to raise is that is a factory option you can select on the dropdown.
Mhm.
Raven Lockhart offered their quote-unquote Raven trigger built by Trigger Tech
Mhm.
with their Raven 9 complete rifle. So
it was
you
just
gotta
something
warranty that somehow.
it was something interesting, and I know I read that. Yeah, it's interesting that pretty much all the broken firing pins came from one type of trigger.
You had any issues with yours, Brian?
no, I haven't, but I just have like whatever the generic cheap trigger is that comes with it because it's a PC9 or it's a 9mm PCC that I'm shooting at really close distance. I'm not trying to shoot minute of angle groups with this thing. It doesn't matter. It's a trigger.
Oh, dude, you put a fancy trigger and it'll get you from 5 MOA to 4.9 MOA.
I have a lot of Trigger Tech triggers on stuff, but I'm pretty trigger intolerant. Like just use proper technique, you're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Fair.
All my ARs.
Hey,
all have
now part of
combat
that maybe
triggers
is
in them.
because I'm also pulling it with my left hand, so they all work wrong anyway. So I mean, I'm just so used to adjusting for that, right? Because I'm crippled.
I'm sorry,
on
are
left hand.
triggers
Well,
left-handed?
no,
It's
well, no,
left-handed trigger.
my trigger finger is on the wrong side, so it's my fault. That's just
that
Uh,
sounds right.
ask
That-
As
that-
in,
I'll tell you.
he is
that-
right-handed.
no, that sounds right. That's you're left-handed. It's your fault.
yeah, pretty much.
That's
Pretty
valid.
much.
Is Brian
I was-
left-handed or left eye dominant? Now I'm hearing like he's
Both.
left hand dom. Oh,
Yeah, he
Oh,
got
yeah.
lucky.
There's no
Yeah.
fixing him.
Yeah. At least he got lucky. He's not left-handed and then right-eye dominant, because then you're just hosed if you got the reverse.
This reminded me. I was at a quote unquote IDPA match a couple 3 weeks ago. A zombie match, actually, sort of kind of wide open, and they grumble at me because I'm left-handed, because the safety guy's got to go on the other side, and I just pointed out,
Right.
Weird.
I'm gonna be left-handed all day. Just cope with it.
That's a funny thing. So Adam Maxwell was Vortex Optisk. He showcased. He's shooting more USPSA nowadays, but he showcased his old IDPA vest that he custom made. It has a gun and an arrow on the left because he is left-handed. So this arrow would know. Gun
Do
on
not
the left.
pass on left.
Nice.
That's cool.
So
All right, so that's a developing story. We'll hear about it probably more because Taylor's on here every single year. All right, new gun stuff. It's brought to you by Bullseye Norse. Need a new boomstick? Bullseye Norse is Canada's shooting superstore and a proud supporter of the CCFR. They have a wide selection of guns and top training gear for any shooter. Free shipping over $250, which includes ammunition, or flat rate shipping for $17 for order under $250. Some conditions apply. Subscribe to their weekly newsletter to get first access to the hottest deals. And this week, the Black Friday sales for Bullseye Norse is on. Adriel, do you mind doing the share screen?
Why don't you do it? You got it up.
God, I didn't open all of them though. They have a bunch of stuff. Do I have them all open? Okay, I kind of ish did.
The riveting silence.
They have your lifetime supply of 375 Holland and Holland from Norma.
Wow.
200 rounds, 10 boxes for $1,020.
Wow.
$5 a shot, but it's a lifetime supply.
You are muted,
Holland-
Dave.
Why am I muted? Oh, okay. Well, that's a really good deal for that ammo, actually.
Yeah.
Really good price.
They also have some interesting calibers of Norma or Oryx ammo available, so do check them out. There's also more stuff. They have a owner's secret collection PU, a legit PU sniper apparently, with a US import mark for $1,125. They also have a great selection of brand 2s on sale. Is the thing switching? What is going
No.
on?
Does not.
No,
I'm
you just got
disappointed.
to share to the tab there.
So these are the brand.
Sure, tab is available. Sorry, go back to the PU sniper for a second. They have the brand 2 MSs in both 7.6239 Russian and 223.556. 556 is in 16.5 restricted length, almost $3,000. The 7.62 is actually slightly cheaper, $2,700 for the 9-inch barrel, and more practically the 11-inch barrel for $23.39.
Do we know if they're bringing in mags for those? Because my roommate actually picked one of them up. Just said he had something that was a little cheaper to shoot, but he had to go through another shipper to get mags for it, and it was quite expensive.
I believe because the brand 2 MSs have the upper serialized, you can get yourself an AR magazine style lower, which will probably be your best choice regardless.
Bullseye North does have the magazines in stock. 10 rounders, $43 on sale.
10 rounders, really?
10 round of the 7.62 by 39 ones?
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Brought in some pistol mags. I should I gotta text the roommate.
Lit that credit card on fire. Let's go.
It's his credit card. I'll spend all of his money.
Which is fair. Other stuff we have. MDT Black Friday sales apparently starts at 3 p.m. PST, so today. Let's see what they have got.
That'll be on Friday.
Oh, what? Oh, sorry. No, tomorrow. So tomorrow,
Yeah.
3 p.m.
Oh, sorry, tomorrow. Yeah.
Who else?
That's their one where they sell all their factory seconds, that kind of thing, for like half off. So yeah, that's a really good one. Definitely check that one out tomorrow. Watch
Hey,
that one
Dustin,
closely.
I saw you want to build a PRS rig.
Which what?
I thought you want to build a PRS rig.
I mean, I do. I really
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
Got
What
to
else?
check that out.
Italian sporting goods. I think we maybe made fun of them last week. They had good deals on optics and stuff. They have Leica rangefinder CRF 2700 for $599 from $1250, and also the Vortex Viper HS6 to 24x50 second focal plane for $650 from $1050. And other stuff. So go check them out. I think they're in store first, online later. 29th, 30th in store, and December 1st and 2nd online. Which I
Yeah,
think
if y'all
is a
see
good
anything
strategy.
interesting in there that you want, it's like 10 minutes from my house, so happy to go pick stuff up once I'm licensed again.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Or I guess like before I'm licensed either. Like, yeah, until you know the birthday happens.
What else? I saw I had another one. Oh, yeah, I don't think reliable sale already went on. That happened. Oh, International Shooting Supply. What did they have? I think they also have stuff. I didn't do the research too well. Sorry, guys. Trigger Tech. They have their Black Friday sale. I guess I can pull it up here. They have sales on the duty triggers. They got free shipping this year, so the price is actually slightly better than last year. I got one as well. They have their Gold series, trigger safety and other things. So yeah, if you want gold.
Question: is the free shipping due to Canada, the Canada Post strike? Like it's free because there's no shipping? Is that that works?
I think so because mine hasn't been shipped yet.
Checks out.
Okay, that's a way to free ship.
Those are very pretty. They're the Diamond Tech Trigger Tech Diamond Trigger Gold Edition. It's your rifle's inner African warlord.
We all need one.
You can have
Fancy.
gold safety too. Oh, Brian's on.
muted.
Was
Brian's
the
on safe.
safety biased, or is the safety like just uniform?
It's biased.
It is biased. Okay, all right.
Or I would have got one long ago. it's the
Stubby
exact
little fingers.
same but different color than Adriel's one. So
Okay, just
I
checking.
got one in black too.
just checking. Yeah, they have a in diamond-like finish. All right, for the main topic, we have the mad lad who shoots Mapleseed Rifleman with a single shot. Brian Muller, welcome to the show. You're an old friend of the show, like before I was employed here.
It's
So
not that old.
take it away.
I'm now a madman. Wow, that's
And
fair.
old.
That's fair. Yeah,
I would
that's
I
fair.
would go with,
How
like,
many people
Trailblazer.
shot single shot for Mapleseed?
I don't know. Kelly didn't
One.
even write down the type of rifle that I was using on the sign-in sheet, so
No.
she obviously doesn't care.
Yeah, that
Well,
seems
that's
like an
sad.
important
Oh,
detail.
Kelly. She's
She
like, whatever.
basic-
Brian, he's going to shoot Rifleman. Who cares?
She went out of her way to ignore me all day.
Aw, that's sweet.
So what did you use?
Okay. So about a year ago, I was in arguably Canada's best gun shop, Elwood Ep Sporting Goods.
Oh yes.
Little plug. And they had this beauty. So this is a BSA Martini 22 caliber cadet rifle that apparently was purchased by the Canadian government in about 1925. So
Wow.
I think it's creeping up on 100 years old. And this, well, if
Look
it's
at that
it's either
spider
25 or
sight. Wow.
27, I'm not sure. Yeah, so it's your classic, your very common falling block single shot rifle, as it would be. It does have tang mounted elevation and windage adjustable rear aperture sights. It did come with a factory front aperture that I broke when I was screwing around with it So I put a Lyman on because that way I can have different front sight apertures. And yeah, then the other modification, I've put a recoil pad on because a 22 is really massive recoil. Actually, that's just for length of pull, just to make it a little more comfortable for me to shoot. And then I've added an external cartridge carrier.
I saw that.
So with the judicious application of self-sticking Velcro and ordering an MTM 22 caliber ammo wallet and a judicious application of a Dremel, you can take one ammo wallet and make it into 3 10-round cartridge carriers that you can then stick on the side of your action, have it reasonably close then to the breech, and you are able to kind of quickly load the rifle.
I wondered how you'd done that, because at Appleseed you just sort of had a handful of cartridges and you were dropping them in.
I did no. For standing, I was at Appleseed. I was using my pocket, but I did have a couple of these set up. But I wasn't very practiced with them. I was messing around. Now, on top of the challenge of the single shot, like normally one would use your index finger and your fingernail to pull the cartridge out and load it into the magazine. I managed to drop a rather heavy pry bar on my trigger finger, and I currently don't have a fingernail on that hand, so I had to use other fingers to make that work. So they just added to the challenge. I mean,
it was fun.
It was fun.
You were smooth with it.
Does it at least have an ejector?
Oh yeah, no, it'll toss brass all over the place. Yeah, for sure. As long as you're aggressive with it, with the otherwise it'll just like lay it into the breech and then you're kind of stuck with it. It won't go anywhere. So it's a bit of a challenge. Consistently with for Mapleseed, the 2 short time stages, the 65 second and 55 second, I would get about 9 rounds off. I would consistently get the 10th round loaded, action closed, when the dulcet voice of Kelly would scream, "Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire." And being the good boy that I was, I did exactly that as soon as I started hearing that. Yes. Wow. I had other problems that day, Kelly. I admit. Yeah. Kelly had to yell at me once that day, but that's okay. I didn't. Yeah. Nobody was hurt, and I just learned to just step back from the equipment line, and then I couldn't step over it accidentally. So
and say thank you.
Yeah, I think it was more of an oh shit and then thank you. Yes. Yeah. So, now I've had some people ask me like, what was my sight picture for this? It is iron sights, and as we were talking about earlier, the Mapleseed targets are black. So I figured that out just in my basement, that a post front sight I did not give me any type of sight picture that I could repeat. I had no idea where the front post was. So I was actually using the round apertures at the front. That would enable me to center on roughly the V for the standing, because it's a big target. Yeah. And the rest of the targets, I could basically frame the actual black shape in that circle, and it allowed me to have a repeatable aiming point. So now I was not spending a lot of time aiming, even at standing. Certainly at the time stages, it was okay. Yeah, that looks about right. Squeeze, off we go. Because if I was going to be able to cycle this action and load it and get most of the rounds off, I had to do that really, really quickly. So I was definitely using Rifleman's cadence, but it's not a Rifleman's cadence that anyone would recognize. It was faster. So, and then for the final stage, you're 5 minutes prone. I could relax and just take my time, and I was always the last person finished.
You were.
I felt like I felt like the slow kid in class. So,
But you got
But
the rounds off. on
I
target.
did. Well, yeah, I did. Got the rounds off, and I got them on target. So it worked out better than I hoped. I did try this in April when I was at the Appleseed in Michigan for just a couple MQTs or sorry AQTs. But by then I was pretty tired, and I didn't really have a good solid zero on that rifle because I hadn't shot it for the event. So I thought if I could spend a day with Mapleseed and actually zero it through the day, then it probably would work out, and it did.
Yeah.
Let me think. I guess the first target I shot a 210,
Mhm.
so qualified rifleman, and then the next one I shot a much lower score, under 200, but I did notice that my point of impact was low, so maybe my sling was starting to slip by then, or I was just getting fatigued. I don't know. So I just added a couple clicks of elevation for the final MQT, and then shot a 216. So
Wow.
worked out. Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. So
Even your middle target was 197. Wasn't bad.
yeah, it wasn't terrible, but yeah,
Right.
like I said, it's under 200. Yeah, so
Right. 210, 197, 216.
Yep.
Wow.
So yeah, pretty
Well
decent.
done.
I mean, I wasn't expecting to shoot distinguished, so that's fine.
Well, this time.
Well, yeah, I just you know,
You need to shoot a full-size martini with like black powder so you can blind everyone after the first shot.
listen, I've tried to shoot a Mapleseed with a 303 Lee Enfield, and that did not work very well.
I almost brought mine, and then I'm like, I only got like 300 rounds, so.
Yes, yeah, and it's just the increased recoil and I was also trying to. I forget if I was doing mag changes or if I was loading stripper clips, but
You were loading stripper clips way back then.
okay.
from
So
what
I
remember,
was
yeah.
fumbling those because strangely enough, I don't load stripper clips in a Lee Enfield on the regular
Yeah.
because it's 2024 and I just don't do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not that practiced. So
How was
anyway,
your shoulder?
after the Lee Enfield, I was
Yeah.
much younger then. It was fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely
Yeah,
not
I
interested.
shot mine. I shot mine a couple months ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I don't shoot this thing.
I need to ask.
I use
Kelly,
it for
can
hunting, but I figure screw it. I'm gonna fire like one round, maybe
Can I
two. So
shoot a
whatever.
slug shotgun at Mapleseed just to
No.
blow up the target so you can't score it?
That's cheating.
Yeah, that's the point, right? You got a game.
You're always looking for the most obscure ways to game, Tony.
I would let
That's-
Tony
that's
do
how
it 'cause
Tony
if he
is.
can actually,
You know what?
do the reload with a pump shotgun on the prone,
You
then
know what? If
more
you
power.
want to do it, 350 rounds slug, go for it.
Yeah.
Bomb up
I
your
would-
neck from
Well, you
the
can
prone,
just
baby.
don't do the instruction.
Well,
of the
see,
shotgun and
now
just shoot
okay,
the-
so we're talking about reloading now. So I was kind of gaming it because I was keeping 10 rounds on the rifle, but I didn't have a magazine, so I wasn't loading 2 and 8. I was just
Right.
loading 10.
Yeah,
So
and we talked about that a little bit. The reality is you're doing a single
1 plus
shot.
1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus
So
1
it's
It's
plus
not the
just
game.
like-
It's not a gaming
and-
that speeds you up. It's the other way. So I think the other way is okay.
okay, all right, fine.
Just
Yeah,
I went. Sorry, go ahead.
I was
I
just
gotta
waiting
bring
for
my
someone to
Kuya
call me
now.
on it. Say, no, you can't do that. You've got to have 2 ammo cards. Like,
You gotta rip your ammo card, slap a new one on there, load 2 more.
yeah.
I'm gonna
would've
bring my
took a
Kuya
lot
out, Kelly.
anyway.
Hmm?
That's
I'm gonna bring my Kuya out now.
Oh my God, there was somebody who wanted to use their Kui. Said, how about we set you up for success?
a
Right from
good.
the get-go.
I'll do it just for fun.
But what about the Canadian heritage?
What about it?
Please, gotta do it. Canadian made.
Yeah.
Proud Canadian.
Yeah. No, it was actually for a kid. And it wasn't going to work
Yeah,
for him.
no.
So I said, why don't we just...
If I can ever find one, I would shoot a Mapleseed with a Ross. I don't think I can do it.
I mean,
but,
you
like,
can
I can't
find
even
them. They are readily available. Just
They're
how
readily
much you want to
and
spend.
expensive, right?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
man,
no.
I can't even really read the target at 25. My eyes are that bad.
That's the other thing. Okay, like that's the other thing. You did this with open sights too. Like open sights, manually operated falling block single shot rifle.
Right.
People don't understand how many levels of really impressive that is. Like that was why I insisted you had to come on. We had to talk to you. Like,
But again, it's not really open sights. It's not like I was using notch and post. It
Fair.
is aperture. So
fair.
you know the
Still.
rear naturally centers, and yeah, I wasn't using a post front sight. Again, if we had gray targets, then yeah, I could have, but I just, and this is not a dig. It wasn't until I was messing around in my basement with, well, what front sight should I use? And I went, oh, these black targets. I can't, just possible. So the other one of the other challenges I ran into, because I was using a front iron ring, especially on the last stage, you've got the 4 targets that are pretty small. I could only see one target at a time, and I'd have to pull the rifle down and check to see which one I was on. Sure, I was in the sequence. Now, if I was being a bit more of a prima donna at the event, I would have said, okay, let me go to the firing line while you guys are doing instruction, because I have other apertures I could have used, including one that's like an opaque plastic disc, like it's kind of a yellow, that might have allowed me to actually see the other targets, but just have a clear picture. But I wanted to just go along with everyone else and not be the special individual at the event. So
That guy.
I just didn't want to be that guy. Right? So, because if someone is being that guy, Kelly gets all stressed. So I didn't want to stress Kelly out.
I never get stressed, and you're always that guy.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to go along, and yeah, I didn't want to try and be
No.
So that's something I would mess around with at the range sometime. But again, I've done this. I don't need to do it again with a single shot. It's fine.
It was pretty impressive.
Kind of done. I mean, maybe if I had an iron sight center fire, I would try a known distance with it, but now I'm probably not going to do that either. So
Fair.
if I could get my Colt Canada back that I can actually use, I could put
That'd be cool.
sights on that and shoot that. But
I think an M1 Garand on KD would be
Cool.
the way to go.
Yeah, that would be pretty neat. Yeah. Well, pretty much. Well, then the Lee Enfield would be more fun at distance too.
Yeah.
Like, I need that. So
See,
I don't
that's some other things you can do. You know, be impressive in other ways. I guess. I don't know.
At some point, it gets to be an expensive way to prove myself. It's fine.
Fair. I think shooting two rifleman scores on that rifle, I'm pretty impressed. Like,
It's very impressive.
Yes, it is.
It worked out well.
Now, because it's you, I'm not shocked that you did it, and you were very close to it at Appleseed. You were 209 on one year, or 208 or something?
I don't remember. I feel like I was over 2 on one. Yeah,
you were very close on one of them. I think you were a 208 or a 209. You were just under. You were very close. So I'm not shocked that you did it, but it's very impressive.
The best part of doing it at Appleseed was the line staff there, because they're very used to semi-automatic rifles, specifically the 10-22. And I come to the line with a single shot falling block, and she looked at me, and then she looked at the shoot boss and went, literally, I could see in her head, what the fuck do I do with this? How do I deal with that? Anyway, just had to point out, okay, there is no safety, so I don't have to put the safety on. I'll put a chamber flag in. I'll leave the action open, and I won't touch it. That's it. It's good. We're done. It's fine. So, yeah.
It's the other thing to talk about, right? Like, it's such a different rifle from like the standard platform that folks shoot that with.
Mhm.
Yeah. And this rifle is so much fun to shoot. It's really heavy. The barrel is I don't know if we can see it on camera, but it's a beefy.
That's a heavy profile for a 22 barrel.
It's very heavy profile. So the rifle sounds different than any other 22. It feels different. It's just like a pop.
Yeah.
How
It's
long is that barrel?
I got to be 25 inches or so.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it's a big
Crazy.
beefy, and which is good because it is iron sights, so it gives you that good long sight radius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now on that same token, because I don't know exactly and I think the distance from the front to the rear sight varies from rifle to rifle. So the elevation and windage adjustments are kind of a guess.
By
I can't
guess,
really,
yeah.
I don't really know. I really have to mark this as somehow. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that.
Well, make a shot, turn it 10 times.
No,
Make
but
another.
right now it's zeroed, so I should mark it for this 25,
yeah.
and then
Use the
like,
Dremel.
Yeah, the Dremel will take care of
Yeah,
everything.
Dremel.
don't destroy historical artifacts, please.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, these guys, their suggestions. That's a great idea. So anyway,
I can feel the weight of that gun every time you pick it up. Like I'm just looking at
it's
that.
beefy.
It
It's
has
beefy.
presence.
Yeah, it does.
And I learned something really neat about it. When I after the event, it rained a little bit, strangely enough, with Kelly at a Mapleseed. It rained a little bit on this 100-year-old rifle. So, and there's 2 screws that hold the action in. So I thought, actually, no, it's not. It's one screw actually holds the barrel. So I can take the whole barrel off, which is really neat. I don't know if it's like a feature, like it's meant to be a takedown, or if it's to facilitate cleaning. But I was really surprised when I had the screws out and all of a sudden the barrel turned off in my hand. I thought, that's okay. But you're also looking at 1925 machining, and it's beautiful.
I was gonna say it's got to be pretty in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like this thing would have to cost $2,000 or $3,000 today, I would think, to make with the level of craftsmanship that's involved in it.
As he slips
As
his
he
mark.
jams his screwdriver in there.
Yeah. Well, yes.
That's a nice rifle.
Oh yeah, it's so cool. And the other thing that's neat about it, because it's a falling block, you just load the rounds in it, so I can shoot like 22 shorts in it. I've got like the little super tiny ones. They're
BBs.
Like, the little BB. Yeah, they just shoot a round ball.
Caps or the
And it's hilarious.
Gallery
They just
rounds.
Yeah, they sound like nothing. The only thing with them is once you shoot them, you have to clean the chamber if you're going to load 22, because you now have powder like halfway up the chamber. So it's just kind of fun. I don't know why I have those gallery rounds. I've had them for.
Where'd you find those?
Apps, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I have no idea why I have them, but anyway, so I found out they work. They shoot pretty accurately at like 10 yards, which is exactly what they're for. Like they're indoor kind of a gallery gun.
Meant to shoot in your front lobby in your Victorian mansion with your friends when they're over. Sniff, drink cognac, and shoot your little 22. Which, if you look up gallery guns, if you've never actually looked that up, kids, go Google gallery guns. It's really interesting. Like, people literally used to shoot 22s in the front hallway of their houses in like England. It was a thing that people just did in the like sitting room.
So wild how that place has changed.
Crazy.
Yeah. Aren't you at risk if you have a butter knife now in England? Isn't that?
Yeah, you'll go to jail
if
you're in possession of like a 22 round without the appropriate license. That's prison time there. It's crazy.
I remember years ago, a guy from England was up when I was at the Aurelia gun range, and he had a meltdown because we went out onto the range, and he was there with his buddy, and we arrived at the same time. We go out, and he had an absolute meltdown because there was a live 22 round sitting on the bench, and no one was there. Somebody had accidentally left it here, and this guy was like, "We need to call the cops, like, now. We need to get freaking SWAT team out here, explosive disposal." Like, it was the weirdest thing, and we're like, "I think I'll just take that and shoot it." Like, it was strange. Like, it was really freaky. how freaked out he was
What do
by
you
just a
do
stray
with
round lying around.
like the unfired bin? Like if you pour it out, there's stuff in there.
I'm assuming it's locked up and maybe there's like an armed guard or something standing next to it, because this guy was genuinely freaked out about a stray 22 round floating around. Like
They've
wow.
been they've been so programmed there. It's always comical bringing Australians and Brits to the range. It's always a good time.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. I think it was on the CFE Discord. They shared like this, I guess, old archive of TV programming about like IPSC in Britain.
Yeah.
It's a very funny intro, like looking at a big band, looking at the London double decker bus, and then people like sitting in a boat. It's a IPSC stage where you start seated in a boat and then you engage when you're floating. It's like in a late 90s or something. It's like wow,
Yeah,
like
the mighty
stuff
have
has really
fallen.
changed for them.
Yeah.
Oh, England, what happened to you? You used to be so cool.
Let's not be them.
No, and it is funny when you look at like, we complain about how bad things here, and they are.
Yep.
Then you look at places like there, and it's like, yeah, let's not become that crap. No.
I think like the shooting community in Canada is so broad and so wide. I think it would be hard to kind of program that same sort of mentality, right? But I don't know. They're
We're
trying.
kind of America light too, so we do have a little bit of that frontier go after yourself. Not
Well-
nearly as much as the Americans, and not nearly as much as we should, but way more than the Brits.
Well, but also, all right. So, like, the gun Brian's got there, or like I was talking about this in the chat today or yesterday, whatever. Whenever we were talking about it, like, my 1895 back there, I like taking that places if I'm gonna go somewhere and just like want to have a gun with me, because that gun doesn't bother people, even though it's the biggest, one of the hardest hitting things I own. It doesn't bother people because it's got wood. It looks kind of cool. And so like I think there's that too, right? I don't know. But
Paint
anyway,
it white. Learn from Adriel.
Yeah,
Paint it
Color's
white.
okay.
paint it white.
Technology is always supposed to advance, except in firearms. It's bad if that advances past like 1904 or something like that. So
Yeah. Evil.
very strange.
But we've just now been proven by Brian Bolivar that we can all subsist on 100-year-old firearms technology, and
Yep.
I guess that means we all have to train on that now. Brian, what did you do to us?
No,
It's like-
no. Whoa. I did something because it was ridiculous. I didn't do it because it's a good idea. No, that's
Fair. And you're in very rarefied air, and that's why you were capable of doing the ridiculous thing.
Now that I already own this rifle, though, if they become much more popular, that would increase the value of the one I own. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, don't sell that thing.
Well,
It's cool. That's a cool thing.
It is. It is cool.
It
It's so fun, and it's fun to to bring it out with newer shooters who have recently come into shooting, and they don't have an idea of the history. They don't have an interest in the history because, frankly, they're not nerds like me. And they just they literally look at me like I'm the weirdest human being they've ever met.
To be fair, you probably are.
Well, that's maybe because I'm an engineer, but anyway,
That's true.
yeah.
Yes, 'cause
But I
you're
think
special.
every farm owner have their own development arc. I want to say.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
for example, when I got started, I have a shotgun. I have a handheld clay thrower, and I went out once a quarter, maybe with a friend, into a crown field. We throw clays, we shoot at them, and then I got introduced to action shooting. Okay, ammo's expensive. Got into reloading. Now I want to load this 450 Bushmaster because I can. Things like
See,
that.
you want to do something that's silly.
Yeah. Everybody wants a little bit silly.
Yeah.
But I love falling block rifles. I really should own one someday, because like they're really
Cool.
entertaining. Yeah, I've got one buddy. He's all about collecting. If it's old and kind of obscure, he's got it in his collection. He's a millwright. It's just like I'm always entertained when I see him posting whatever new fascinating new like thing he's got, heavy on the quotes. but every once in a while, so we do kind of like monthly poker games where we'll play for ammunition. So instead of chips, we just like 9mm. It's great. It's a lot of fun. But he'll usually bring some guns over, and they'll end up in my shop. And it's always fun when I pop in. I'm like, oh, what do we have here? Last time he was here, there was a falling block gun that I was like, oh, I need this. This is
Cool.
yeah, they're so cool. I don't know. I think it's like that cool step forward in technology, right? So
Oh, that was such a big change when you look at
Yeah.
that. You know, we
Yeah.
used muzzle loaders and flintlocks for like 400 years or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden somebody's like, well, this sucks. Let's do this. And you're like, whoa.
and
And then you go read about some battle at the time, and like somebody's force just like destroyed the other team, like hands down, just because they had a different gun. Amazing.
yeah, it's absolutely bananas what those like little incremental changes in technology meant at those stages now. But they're also, those are the footprints that, lead to the cool modern firearms that we all love and enjoy today, right?
Well, if you think about it, I mean, firearms technology realistically hasn't changed since 1900 right
Yep.
now. I mean,
After
better material,
cartridges,
better
right?
machining, different designs. But we've had centerfire mag-fed semi-autos since like 1907
Yep.
commercially, and before that with prototypes and stuff. So nothing's really changed in 125 years, really.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Sure.
when that stuff was changing, like it's like any technology, right? Cars don't really improve. But back in the 40s and 50s, when there were like 100 companies making them and everything was really interesting and innovative, computers in the 80s, when there were 50 companies that made stuff, and then industry's all mature, and then it's kind of just, they're all the same kind of little differences here and there, but they're not that far apart. You don't get that. Everything's an evolution, not a revolution at a certain point. And back then, like falling block, I mean, whoa.
Do you think we're going to see? Do you think we'll see a change, or like a big innovation now that we're starting to play around with like caseless ammunition? Now that the other thing is like, there's still novelty because we're still like the amount of like energy density isn't there, but thinking about like compact railguns,
Yeah,
like that's going to be the
sci-fi
next
stuff.
I don't love sci-fi stuff at all.
Yep. It would be cool if we could get laser guns, but I have a feeling anything new and cool we wouldn't be able to get it in Canada anyway. So
okay, the laser gun thing. So that technically doesn't meet the definition of a firearm. I have a friend. He's got his. I like to say he's got a PhD in laserology because I can't remember what it actually is, and I really should know, just out of respect for him. But works with lasers, has all the cool special licenses to have the really powerful lasers in Canada.
nice.
And I asked him one day, it's like, okay, could we build me a laser gun? And he sits there and thinks about it for a minute, and he's like, yeah, I think we could do that. It would be a little bit like the gun from Akira. Is that okay? Because like, and I'm like, yeah, yes, yeah, laser gun from Akira. No, who would want that? But from like a technical perspective, I think the technology and the energy density, all of those components exist now to be able to do that. I'm sure DARPA is making cool, weird things that we're not allowed to know about. That but
You could set a duck on fire midair.
I know. Yeah. So going from falling block rifles to laser guns inside of 100 years would be pretty neat.
That would be cool. But I really have a feeling if we got cool things like man portable, person portable, sorry, Justin, rail guns and lasers, I have a feeling that all of that stuff would be instantly prohibited. Like,
yeah, you're probably
we're never gonna see that stuff. Same as electronic triggers. I'm like, I'd like to see electronic triggers in guns, and I'm like, probably not going to happen because that stuff would be so easily programmable.
What's the Remington 700X thing prohibited in Canada? Did we ever see those?
I don't know.
The electric trigger
Yeah,
gun was the
they-
electric
yeah.
primers.
Right, yeah, Remington made an electric trigger gun in the 700. Special ammo. It never did take off.
No, but I'm just wondering if they actually prohibit that.
So
I
a
don't
bolt
think
gun,
so.
probably not. But if you built an
That's fair.
electronic trigger like you do with paintball guns,
Yeah.
into a firearm,
That'd be
and
bad,
then
right?
you just throw a new board in that's full auto. So
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
wouldn't be
probably why.
bad, it'd be awesome.
Oh no, bad on a like bad. You're bad for doing
Yes.
bad things, But
Yeah. I don't think the Remington was that complicated. I think it was like it was a switch connected to a battery that sent a spark to the. Yeah,
It's
it was
like a
kind of a
heating pole of
piezoelectric, more of a piezoelectric trigger than a barbecue lighter, as it were.
It will be interesting to see what happens. I mean, there's just so like the industry is so mature. Things are priced reasonably. It absolutely works. I mean, even caseless ammo, other than for tanks and artillery pieces, really hasn't gone anywhere. I mean, that what was the weird Nazi space gun, German space gun? Sorry,
G11.
K11, G11. Yeah, the one that's prohibited in Canada, despite the fact there's only like
It
4 of
is?
them in the world. It's prohib, dude. G11 is prohib.
Well,
Yeah.
let's put it this way: the freaking Buttmaster, shout out to Ian, is freaking prohib in Canada. There was one built, so I don't
That's
think
true.
they really care. They're just
Amazing.
like, it's in the news, so we might as well because
It
someone's
came up in
going
a
to try
Google
to
search is
circumvent
what
it.
happened.
Should
I'm
we
sure.
get in touch with Serbu? Maybe once they mail me my new firearms license, we can get in touch with Serbu and import it just so that Justin has a heart attack. Like import it for the
Why?
business.
Just import
Yeah,
it
yeah.
back.
Ian's
Yeah, which is-
trying to have one made.
No, is he? Yes.
Cool.
Oh, that's great news. I gotta poke him again. Did he get his business license? I hope so.
Not last time I talked to them.
Fun times.
Well, he will be on the show when he get it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And if anyone happens to have any lasers or rail guns,
Contact us.
slangfireradio@gmail.com.
And we'll bring Brian back on. Brian, you're gonna have to help me design this thing. I haven't had to be an engineer like in a decade.
I think he's the wrong kind of engineer, though. He could probably make water pour down it,
That's fair.
or like pour concrete around it, so you could put it on it.
My practical and applied math skills have deteriorated quite a bit. They're still there, but
I tell you what, Dustin, I will help you, but I will give you a quote of my chargeable rate per hour. Because if anybody is asking me to do engineering, on top of all the engineering I have to do, I'm getting paid for it.
That's
So,
fun.
even for a laser gun? Come on.
Laser beam.
Laser beams. He's not as
Frickin' laser beams.
Oh, come on. You guys look, you know what? Kelly and Brian, you're both way too disinterested in this. Kyle's got a big smile on his face. Kyle wants a laser gun. He doesn't want to say he wants a laser gun. Kyle wants a laser gun.
Set ducks and fire midair.
yeah.
Wouldn't.
Come on.
Apparently, Kelly, you don't want to be a part of this. Come on, think about it. The laser revolution.
You could set up.
Think about deer
Set a
hunting.
deer
I will
You
say
know.
I'm more interested in like a rail gun than I am the laser gun.
Yeah,
Rail
rail
guns
guns
are
are much more practical for poking holes and things. Lasers, you just set them on fire gradually.
Yes, this is true.
What I see is setting the laser on really low power, and then you and your friends go play laser tag for real.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Bird.
Ouch, that hurt.
Nice consequences. Just like, all right. Everybody, save for Tony. Did everybody screw around with pellet guns and BB guns with their friends when they were kids? Right? We all shot each other and our
Yeah,
friends with
because we
pellet
didn't have
guns.
paintball guns, so
Yeah.
we were pretty happy when we found out about paintball.
Hey, you're from Alberta. Don't lie. You totally did.
No, I shot exclusively targets. Surprisingly, at the time, BB guns were not that regulated in China. I think they've really clamped on that. So my childhood was filled
Thank
with
God.
BB guns. Yeah, that made public a lot safer for sure.
Of course.
A lot less
Well,
quote
that's where
unquote gang looking
airsoft got
kids
going, right?
riding bicycles having a BB gun in their front basket or all around the community shooting at pop cans and whatever.
That sounds
Nothing
awesome.
is more gangster than your
It's
gun.
not bad.
Pass it up.
Oh my goodness. I really
And yeah, all my teacher was more concerned as me riding bike over speed, not the gun in the basket.
Really?
That's fine.
That's the thing?
The bike riding thing is too fast. Can't do that. Okay, we'll try to we don't even have speedometer at the time. We're just trying to ride slower, I guess.
Wow.
They had
Yeah.
speed limits for bicycles.
No, it's just my
Oh.
teacher's, bless her soul. She is too nice, and she's like, you
They-
get this. It's a small
Oh,
group of
they were
boys.
concerned
just
about your
like,
safety. She
Yes.
was concerned
Yeah.
about you, not you breaking the speed limit with your
not
bike
the
and
speed
getting
limit
arrested or
thing. It's
something.
just like we're
Okay.
riding bikes too fast.
We do
Ripping
have
up and
speed
down the
limits
street.
for bicycles here, though. My brother got a speed
30
limit
kilometers
on a BMX.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the town we lived in had a very steep, very long one-way street. It was like one way down, one way up, like 2 lanes. And I guess a Mountie clocked him doing 64.
That's fast.
Yeah, and gave him a ticket.
I would keep that ticket.
I know, right?
Name that.
Yeah, it was impressive. He's like, yeah, this is a moving violation. You were doing well over the speed limit, and you aren't wearing a helmet. So, yeah.
I wore my helmet. Well, no.
How
I
did they
didn't wear a
catch you?
helmet
Come
then.
on, you're on a bike.
They were in a car.
Yeah, but you can go like cross country. Come on.
But that sounds kind of like you know the speed radars out on roads and they tell you your speed.
So you speed up.
Well,
Well, yeah, it's a challenge,
There's
yeah.
one near my old house, and I tried to get the high score.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? You get the high score. You get to walk up to it and like put your initials in.
More of a personal.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. 86.
Yes.
That's really quick.
Carve your
Yeah.
name on the back of it with your score.
In your score, yeah, write it in. You just need to attach a clipboard to it. That's what you should do. Attach a clipboard to it with a pencil, and then write scores on it.
That's how you turn a nuisance, like a government nuisance, into a bit of fun for folks. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. Should do that, bro.
The problem is the people that were in my neighborhood, they wouldn't have seen the humor in that.
No.
It was a village of Karens. It was just terrible.
Yeah.
Not good.
This was one of those instances where the cop was familiar with my brother. They were familiar with both me and my brother. It was a smaller town, and we never got into like real trouble, but they were aware of our existence.
No,
So they're like, finally caught you at something, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I went, and he's more of a car guy, so that was the direction all of his nuisancery went in. But like, I went to visit, and like for Christmas once, and had like saw that like they had like their cable and phone linked up, RCMP call, and it's actually a cop I knew, and she was like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "It's Christmas time." Like, yeah. I'm like, she's like, "I'm calling to see if your brother's most recent project is off the road because we gave him a week and I'm gonna be by tomorrow." And like, yeah, it's off the road. I think he's taking it to get crushed right now, but he'd buy write-offs and then make them less insurable until like he got pulled over, got his 1 week like get this off the road warning, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, he built all
Okay.
kinds of cool things, but that's
That's
not
cool.
gun related. So
So he's like that dude that I can't remember his name, but he had a video of it where he built he took a jet engine off a helicopter and stuck it in the back of a VW, and
yeah,
then
he's that
got pulled over.
He's that kind of guy. He got into he's into he builds demolition derby cars with his wife, and they go and compete in North
Oh,
America.
that's fun.
So yeah, he turned his bad habit into a hobby, kind of. So yeah.
So hey, guns.
Yeah, it's a gun show, guys.
I'm sorry.
We're wandering around. It's fun wandering around.
Yeah, I feel bad. I'm a
I don't
wanderer.
remember where we were with the gun stuff. Oh, lasers. We're into laser guns.
Yeah,
That's right,
laser
rail
guns.
guns.
Laser guns.
Kelly
Yeah.
looks like she's gonna kill us. No, I really do appreciate you and humoring me, Brian, because I was very insistent that Dave make you come on.
He's your public I told you about.
Yeah.
If you would have said it was Dustin, I would have agreed right away instead of waiting the 30 seconds to agree that I did.
It's true.
Oh.
She thought it was Kelly initially. So I
But
didn't
let's
break his bubble on that one, Kelly.
Well, yeah.
I could have asked him myself.
You didn't.
That would have taken me
No.
60 seconds, Kelly, to agree. 60 seconds for sure.
I mean, technically, I could have messaged you too. I do have you on Facebook, so
yeah, no, yeah, sure. Anyway,
that's fair. But yes, thank you for indulging me. I think it's super cool. I know when I shot my Mapleseed, it was really important to me that I got my Rifleman patch because I'm not a terrible shot. but I cannot fathom doing it like that. So hats off to you, sir.
No
Actually,
problem.
I have another Mapleseed anecdote.
Ooh.
So, being that I'm single, and there's dating apps. I actually had someone reach out to me because of my posted score on Mapleseed. She's a Mapleseed
Wow.
shooter, and yet
Mm.
relax. So we've had some interesting chats about shooting. That's so
Hey,
it's
baby.
bet.
244.
Yeah.
neat, right? Like
That's
the
cool.
the Mapleseed thing is building community. So
Yeah,
That's really awesome.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
cool.
That's got to feel good for something that How old is Mapleseed now?
2017 is when we incorporated.
Now there's math to do,
March.
Kelly. What's wrong with you?
-3, 7 years.
7.
Yeah.
7 years
7.
we've been around.
Wow.
That's really
Brave.
cool.
Okay,
That's-
Kelly, stats time. How many riflemen are there?
Off the
I mean,
top of my head,
How many different people are riflemen? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know about different
Mhm.
people, but we could.
Also, we
could-
never assigned them a number. That's kind of a shame.
yeah, I can go back into it, but I don't know off the top of my head. It's about 250.
Is that it?
Oh,
Really?
really?
That's it?
Yeah.
Is that
No, it's
Ontario
gonna
or
be-
Canada?
No, more than that. More than that. There's like 100 per year.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. 2024 we had 91.
Yeah.
No,
But are
90.
those repeats?
Yeah, there's a lot of
Maybe.
repeats.
There may be, but 2023 had 100. 2022 had 110, give or take. 2021
Yeah, you know what?
had 97.
It's about 100 a year. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. How many? All right. So let's dig in a little more. How many
Oh
distinguished?
God. How many distinguished?
Was tab?
6, I believe.
Oh,
Or
really?
7.
That we only started counting since.
Since
Yeah,
this-
that's
over
true. Yeah,
2020.
that's a new thing. Because the reason I asked, because one of the posts was out in Alberta, a lady got her distinguished.
She
Nice.
did.
Yep.
Yep.
I was impressed. That's good.
And then
So
how
that's
many
why I
people
asked
are
about-
known distance riflemen, Kelly?
I was gonna ask that next.
Go ahead, Brian.
Only one, and it's Brian.
Brian, go ahead.
Okay. Oh no, that's good. I'm good.
Anyway, I didn't
We
quite
can
hear
edit
it.
it. We can
Just-
take
Just
Dave
one,
out.
right?
just the one so far.
Seems less needy when I ask it, Brian.
it's less obvious that I'm looking to gloat a little bit. Yeah, I have to admit the second known distance when I was there as staff, I was equally pleased and disappointed that no one else got.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody did.
What
I was
did you
expecting a couple
shoot
guys would.
for a KD rifleman?
Yeah.
Martini Henry rolling
No.
block and like
Yeah.
38 Craig.
Yeah.
And what's the
no, I
caliber for the original 577 or something?
Yeah, 5.77 Snyder. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, I shot a Renegade straight pull in
Oh
223 Wild
wow.
with an IBI
Nice.
barrel and a 4-16 optic on it. So
I think that a couple of people that were at the last one, they were pretty close. Well, they were, yeah. But they'll be back,
Nice.
and they brought really good rifles that they could use to shoot it as well. So, just,
Well, the challenge we've got in the center fire semi-automatic world in Canada now is nothing is anywhere close to as good as an AR-15. So
correct.
And
Yeah.
at 4 times the price.
yes,
4 times the money and half the rifle.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
There was a
I
nice
mean,
friend too there. It was nice.
yeah, but does it
Mhm.
do anything more than the solid old Norenko AR-15s used to do?
Yeah. No,
It is
it
less
doesn't.
accurate.
However,
Yeah.
that being said, we can't shoot ARs right now, or
Right now.
hopefully.
Right
Yes,
now.
Yes, that is the key words right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
I really want to get my Colt Canada IUR out and get another rifleman badge with it. So,
I want to shoot my CCFR AR. I have one of the CCFR ARs, or technically my stepdad does, because I wanted him to have an AR before the ban happened, and I was like, this is really important to me. This is really important to me. This never goes to the government. You hold on to this. But yeah, I want to shoot it one day again.
I got a couple I have never fired. Built them,
Okay.
never fired them. But yeah, I want to get my IUR out again because I love that gun, and I'm more confident with that rifle than I am with anything else. So
Mm.
yeah, I miss it so much.
Well, you can fondle it.
Yeah.
You can possess
Just
it.
makes-
It's
just makes me
so
sad.
dangerous to the public that you have to keep it and not use it.
Keep it in my safe and not use it at the government mandated and licensed range.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
again, to end everything with a nice positive note, it's for now, right?
For now.
At the end of the day, I think the important positive thing on all of those notes is to remember that even the police are kindly coming out en masse and saying this is ridiculous. These bans are doing nothing. So yeah, we're a year or less from an election. Or,
Yep.
one
Because
budget away from an election.
I'm very happy that the police unions are finally standing up and saying, and the police themselves, and saying
Everyone.
that this is stupid, and like tweeting at Mr. Trudeau
Publicly.
when he actually says, we ban handguns. They're like, well, it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
So Dustin, do you always try and finish on a high note on items?
Yes.
It does.
What is that? She keeps nodding like it's a bad thing. I'm trying.
It's really annoying.
Oh,
Stop being so positive, damn you.
oh gosh. You gotta be positive. There's lots in life to be negative about. There's lots in our sport and hobby to be negative about. I think if we don't have light at the end of the tunnel, we lose sight of the things that we still have and the things that we could have, and people lose motivation. I lost a ton of motivation. Like, my shooting dropped off a cliff when the first round of bans happened, and then really dropped off a cliff. Like, I had some things in the works that I was really excited about that I just never did because I let it get to me. I let the fear and I let the heaviness get to me for a couple of years, and I'm trying to work my way not to that. And the ending things on a positive note is my exercise for that.
I got
Nice.
some positive note here. So I just calculated the numbers for Mapleseed. Unique Rifleman, 635 unique, 761 total.
Wow,
There you go.
That's quite a
635.
few.
that's
Really a lot.
awesome.
Cool. That's a lot of
Nice.
repeat people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not really.
Oh, not
So
really.
635 versus
Percentage
761.
wise.
Yeah, there's like 100.
repeats.
120.
Nice.
A
Good for you
bunch of
guys.
those repeats are me. So
And I got a few.
yeah, I could probably have like a good hand of 5 card with just my rifleman badges. So yeah,
Oh, you could put them on your wall behind you so the room wouldn't look so empty.
I could,
See? Circular,
I'm
just
not-
tie everything back to how we started the show.
but I'm not gonna because I'm decorating my place the way I want to. Ugh.
With comic books.
Need
Well, that's
a
okay.
good rug.
That's okay. Mine's all old computers, so whatever.
Yeah,
Rug
right?
will really
I've got
pull the
comic
room
books
together.
back there. These comic books are great.
Comic books
Yeah.
are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gun show.
Yes.
We done.
Yeah.
We done the
We're
main
done.
topic. I think we are.
Comics with
Yeah, I
guns.
think
Let's
we're
keep going.
done the main topic. Listener feedback. We don't have an email for this week, I don't believe, but we do have comments. Apparently, CCFR did like our derailment episode, so that's very much appreciated. And I think CCFR is visiting our channel way more often now. Awesome.
Hi, Rod. Hi,
Eddie
Tracy.
was. Oh yeah. You
Hey,
think
kids.
they're or is it a media guy who was visiting us more?
Or is it Kelly?
Well, Kelly, yeah.
Call me Kelly.
Me. Yeah, that's because I have so much free time. No,
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
kidding.
You're still an integral part to the CCFR team, right?
No.
What? That Ontario people are gonna go rogue. Their director just said no. I'm not. No. Anyway, Eddie has 3 comments. Dustin, if you're hunting in the lower mainlands, you probably needed the Fraser Valley Special Hunting License, which requires proof of personal liability insurance. I believe it is mandated under the guise that you need insurance to hunt in a heavily populated area.
Yes, that was the extra hunting license and the extra insurance that my normal hunting insurance was not covering me for.
I would give a suggestion to the CCFR. Can you have an optional insurance on top of your membership for BC members, maybe?
for
Should've
Fraser Valley.
thought. Yeah, for Fraser. A lot of them live there.
Yeah, there's
Sells,
like
There
three
is-
sells that
people.
insurance. Is that
I
money
was
just
gonna
goes to
actually
like
ask, 'cause
local
then-
wildlife
There-
association?
Does CCFR actually have insurance now? Because I know they didn't have it for a little portion there.
No, there
Yeah.
is insurance, and
Yeah.
you can buy the extra insurance as well.
Hmm.
Still,
I guess it's a check mark option you can get, Dustin. You should do that.
I have insurance for the year, more than enough now.
Yeah, sure. Dave, I'm surprised you haven't heard of the 35 Whalen. Yeah, it is a 30-06 necked up to 358 caliber. I got to fire one a few decades ago and almost got scoped. It's credited to Colonel Townsend Whalen, who's also known for his quote, "Only accurate rifles are interesting." And
Yes, one of my favorite quotes. I used that quote this afternoon, actually.
Hmm.
And I used it on the show tonight, now that I think about
Mhm.
it.
You
The
did. Yep.
30-06 is never a mistake.
308.
Yeah, it was
30-06.
designed with African game in mind, using a rifle of 30-06 or standard length action. I guess back in the day that was a standard length action. Nowadays we'd consider that as a long action,
now,
or on an AR platform, extra long action. Is that even a thing?
No.
Oh, I'm sure somebody's made a
Yeah,
30-06.
well, probably, but
Yeah,
I-
50, I
that-
guarantee it.
That's reminding me. I used to have a 35 Whalen. It was a great rifle. It was built on, I want to say, P14 action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I had bought it from a really dear friend. It was a great rifle. I'm sure I harvested a deer with it. It's just kind of different though. It's a 30-06, but with a 35 caliber bullet.
Bit
Pretty
more pep.
Yep, there is somebody.
thump.
Noreen Firearms builds the Bravo November 36 X-Ray 3, which is a 30-06 AR-10.
Wow.
There you go.
well, Noreen is also the manufacturer who gave us a single shot 50 cal, quote unquote, pistol. So yeah, they mad lads over there, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Send it.
What kind of magazine are you gonna use? AICS pattern?
I maybe they made their own mag. I don't know.
Yep.
Probably.
Go
I
on.
have no idea.
And last comment from Eddie: a limitation with bore snake is unplugging the barrels. Using an example, you guys have mentioned getting a case stuck in a chamber or having mud plug up your bore. You will have to have a rod to clear that out. Was that consideration? I carry a cleaning rod to the range and field and forego the bore snake. I don't recall a time I need to clean the bore away from home. I
Good
would
to have
would
something
agree.
with you to bang stuff out.
Probably the most common for competition shooters is squibs. A lot of us do
Yep.
reload, and once in a while the powder measure either doesn't work or you didn't buy great quality reloads. So I do have it. I've only had to employ it once, I want to say, but it does happen. And I've seen PC9s, especially after high round counts, if it's a steel challenge, for example, at the last few stages, you can have if the crimp isn't aggressive on the case, you can have rounds stuck in the rifling, or I
Mhm.
guess maybe not the rifling, maybe just the carbon deposits in the chamber. So yes, do carry a cleaning rod. I don't use it often, but it's better to have it, not need it.
I use them all the time, and I carry a wooden block and a hammer too.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
if you
God.
end up at a lot of competitions, you get a lot of weird stuff.
Let's see. I guess we'll do. Here's a good idea. We'll do our sponsor link for what people bought from our links next week, or maybe the week later. We'll see, because Black Friday is coming up and a lot of people are going to buy stuff.
Good call.
That reminded me, I need to click on the Brownells link before I buy stuff.
Yep.
Hmm.
Brownells, Cabela's. Click on the
Brownells,
link.
Cabela's, yep. Thanks to our supporters on Patreon and Player. If you'd like to support us on Patreon or Player, you can find us on both of the platforms. If you'd like to send an email to us, you can send them to, as Dave has suggested earlier, slamfireradio@gmail.com. Shoutouts and recommendations. We'll go with Adriel first.
I don't got any.
Such an unthankful week. 2 weeks.
Next
too.
week. Next week.
Anybody else?
Why do you think it's so broken, Kelly?
Nope. Just thanks, Brian, for coming on and for seeing you. It's always fun to see you.
Dustin?
I would love to shout out the good folks at Canada Post. Because of you, I will not be able to shoot for the first time in longer than I can remember. And also, thanks for coming on, Brian. Really appreciate it. Always good to see you.
Kyle?
Nope.
Dave?
Canada Post's reply to that, Dustin, is, well, now you appreciate it, don't you?
I don't.
Well, I guess I'll blame the firearms program instead, because they should have sent that out like months.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they get an
Right.
honorable mention, too, for the 6-month wait.
Or like, email you a copy and then you can just print it and keep it with you. Like
Apparently, we can't do that. Yeah, I asked for a digital copy to send my union to update it like when it got, and they're like, nope, screw you. All right, I hope I don't have to supervise any guns for the next couple of weeks.
And thank you for coming on as well, Brian, and being an awesome dude in general.
What about Brian? Anyone to shout out?
I don't know. You guys are all saying nice things about me, and I'm not used to that.
You're just uncomfortable now.
I'm
You're
really
feeling a little
uncomfortable right now. Could you just stop?
Weird.
No, I
No,
appreciate.
because I'll give you a shout out later too.
I appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk about the one of my favorite rifles and doing fun Mapleseed things, and yeah, just having a good chat. So, thanks again for the invitation.
Absolutely.
I'll
Tony?
give Brian a shout out too, and thank you for pushing the envelope on what is possible in a semi-competitive shooting environment. I guess you got to compete for your rifleman and your KD rifleman too. Maybe they'll come to Alberta soon. I don't think I can do it though, but that's a different
Not with your shotgun.
discussion. No,
Trying-
I don't think I can deal with my 223 either. We'll see.
I'm trying to think of the next test. Do I try it with a black powder?
Yeah, sure.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna smoke up the whole firing line. That all the time stages like 2 shots. That's all you get.
Yes, black powder, absolutely.
Well, you just need to carry a brace of black powder rivets. So you just have 10 of them laid out.
Oh,
and you're
Yes. Yeah.
You just
Dave in the
bring-
back loading them for me.
good. Yeah, I'll come load your guns. No problem.
Tactical roll over to the next one. Fire, roll.
Just keep handing your rifles. Just
I-
need two
I will
people.
be- I'll
Somebody grab
definitely
one, somebody
be-
put one in.
I'll be an individual that day. Kelly will not like me on the line.
That is
Cool.
funny.
Oh,
And,
you could
I
just do
have
a cartridge black powder, like a
4570.
Like a
right?
Thompson Arms
4570
or
something.
Thompson
Yeah.
Center, yeah.
I'll give a recommendation to, well, a lot of people probably started watching them a long time ago. The Meat Eaters. I've been getting more into hunting recently, so I'm starting to watch more of the stuff and adventures, and seems to be
They released a
fun.
bunch. They've been releasing them like full episodes on YouTube
Yeah?
recently.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Banana Ballistics also did one on does a 22 bounce in a body, which is hilarious. You should watch it.
Oh yeah, I think it was TFB who tested like Chinese optics and stuff too. So that's fun. I haven't watched it. Yeah, I
Short
haven't finished
episode.
it.
Doesn't work. Still doesn't work.
All right,
Tony,
we're gonna end it for
close
tonight.
the show.
Yeah, Kelly is getting
Kelly wants to
impatient.
Go to bed.
Join our Discord server. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Player. Join the CCFR, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Later.
Night, everybody.
Good night.